I finally played and finished my first ever Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Village. Before I get thrown up on by everyone who's even heard of Resident Evil, I'm aware that this game is a sequel to Resident Evil 7. I've now bought and started playing Resident Evil 7 whilst recording this video though. But this is the game I owned and the game I wanted to play, so I had a very brief lore read and we were off to the races. I've been powering through a ton of games in my spare time recently, so I decided to start this series in which I can casually talk about the games I've been playing and chat with anyone watching about these games. There'll be spoilers in this video for the game because I basically just want to talk about it. We kick off chilling in our house with our lovely-ish wife Mia and our new baby Rose. Walking around this house, you could already tell just how phenomenal the game was going to look. My missus was playing Sims at the same time and was shocked at how good this game looked in comparison. After carrying the baby up to bed, we come back down to the kitchen, and as we're about to start chowing down, a bullet whizzes through the window and straight into Mia. And then again, and again, and again, until she hits the floor. Chris Redfield, the big military man, comes in with his military boys, shoots Mia in the head, takes Rose and Ethan, and we are out of there. The goal for this game is pretty simple. Do what you need to do to get Rose, kill who you need to kill, just so you can get a baby back that you have had no time to experience a life with and have no connection with whatsoever. How very Fallout 4 of you. Wake up in the middle of the night next to a crashed truck in a snowy forest. From here, we start to feel the slight scares that I always associated with Resident Evil, trudging through the dark forest with an absolutely pathetic torch, hearing noises and grunts all around you, encountering multiple dead and strung up crows, and at one point, seeing something run ahead of you for a brief moment, which had my heart beating out of my chest. You finally come across a house. Oh, awesome. Maybe someone in there can help shelter you for the night, or even tell you where you are. Oh, it looks like no one's home. Well, you continue to look around the house, hearing bumps and noises around you. Finally, you find a rat locked in a cupboard. Oh, at least that's where the noise was coming from. Not too scary. Oh fuck. Yeah, I don't think that was a rat. But at least when you exit the house through a new goddamn hole in the wall, it's morning outside, meaning you don't have to use your shitty little flashlight anymore. Now this was one of the most beautiful moments of the game, when you step out to the view of the village and the giant castle. It looks absolutely phenomenal and foreboding, covered in fog and looking ominous as hell. From here you'll head straight into what I would consider the best parts of the game. Before we head down into the village, I wish someone had warned me that at least 3 times in the next few hours, I will be seeing my hands be ripped apart, sliced open, and sliced off completely with lots of gory detail. Heading into the village, encountering your first lycans through a horrifyingly intense moment with an old man, then finally receiving a pistol that you can use to fend them off felt very tense and scary, as the lycan threat continues to grow and requires you to run away and survive as they chase you down. Once you make your way through the village, encountering survivors along the way who are then promptly killed, you will finally reach the castle. Just outside the castle, you'll encounter an incredibly large and mysterious individual known as Duke, who you'll never fully feel like you can trust, but he'll always be there to sell you items and buy the valuables you collect. Eventually you'll find your way into the castle with the big vampire, Lady Dimitrescu, and her 3 daughters. The design of this castle was sick. The intricate details of everything from the ray-traced reflections on the wooden floors, the insane detailing of the staircase banisters, and everything else in the castle is insane. I want to show you a quick montage of how phenomenal every aspect of this castle looks, both terrifying and fucking beautiful. I was fully prepared to spend the entire game in and around the castle and would have been more than happy to never leave. One of the few times I literally jumped in real life and let out an audible scream was a small moment in the castle where one of the daughters literally just said came up behind me and I shit myself. Towards the end of the castle, you'll be pretty kitted out with weapons, making the game feel more and more like a first-person shooter than a horror game, and definitely took away a lot of the tense horror factor, as you knew you could easily just gun your way through every enemy or boss in your path. Once you complete the castle and defeat the horrifyingly mutated Lady Dimitrescu, you'll learn it's not over. You still have 3 main bosses to defeat, plus the final boss, meaning you have to access a bunch of different areas to do so. None of these areas have quite as much appeal in my opinion than the castle or the village itself, unfortunately, but I still loved exploring everything from the seemingly abandoned house with all your weapons taken away and a gigantic mutated baby chasing you through the dark hallways. The gigantic mutant fishman pursuing you in both water and on land. And even working out how to deal with the hilarious but deadly propeller head. Now yes, most of the boss fights just come down to running away, firing off a few shots, and then running away again. But the bosses themselves all look pretty sick and feel intense to face. I think the only point in the game I got a little bored was in Heisenberg's factory, where it was pretty easy to get overwhelmed by robotic zombies that were pretty resilient, with not a ton of ammo available. I found myself running away often and getting quite lost, but I finally got through it. One other gripe I did have was that the story and acting was a little naff, as the dialogue often felt forced and quite unnatural for a normal person to say, and absolutely felt like a script written instead of a normal conversation.
Rose, I have to save my daughter.
In the end it was cohesive, but it did feel a little cringy and quite unnatural at times. I really enjoyed the game way more than I expected, despite the fact that most people seem to think it was quite a departure from previous Resident Evil games. But, let's be real, this game made me wish I had gotten into the Resident Evil franchise much earlier, since Village has made me want to play the other games. As mentioned, I've already started number 7, and plan on running through Resident Evil 2 Remastered after that. This video was also pretty fun and a lot more casual feeling whilst making it, and I hope you liked this format, because if so, I'd love to make it on more games I play in the future, maybe even Resident Evil 7, but if you did enjoy guys, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun jazz, and peace out.
Manhands on my daughters, and now you even try to steal my property! How dare! Rest while you can, because I will hunt you, and I will break you!